Well, good evening, guys. Sydney time. My name is Victor or Torvix. Um, Good evening. Welcome back. Another video. This will be a short one because I'm half asleep. I had a busy day today, and so I apologize if it's not to the same standard as some of my other videos. But I've been posting a lot of rambling videos, so I appreciate your patience. I was watching YouTube, as is my hobby, as is my habit, and unfortunately, I fell down the rabbit hole of watching videos about people who were abused by cults and things. Unfortunately, someone posted a comment a few days ago that I was thinking about. I was trying to find an answer for it, and I couldn't find an appropriate answer. I posted the appropriate answer I could, but it made me think about the false accusations towards us with our church. And so I sought out terrible, terrible equivalents. I just want to understand where she was coming from because obviously this person was seeking answers and was very valid. So I was trying to understand where she was coming from. She came from a contentious perspective. She just wanted to argue. That's her right to do so. I wish her well. But I was going through this YouTube rabbit hole, and it broke my heart. Some of the stories I saw, a lot of it was based on loneliness. These people, especially in the modern world, these people they're very alone. They had no one to talk to. They had stresses but no supports, and so through the abuse of the internet, they got involved in financial cults or political cults or a combination of the two. I saw a documentary about a man who suffered great financial distress after 2008. Started sending all these weird letters to people all around the world, and became some sort of quasi prophet amongst himself. And he suffered great pain, great loneliness, and so he saw the answers that way. And it was a tragic story. They offered to get him help and such, but I'm watching his documentaries about people involved in financial pyramid scams, but with like religious undertones and like personality cults, and it's all this terrible. I really shouldn't watch that stuff, especially before I go to bed. It's not very good for your mind. That made me think how sad it is that in an age where we have so much technology, we have so much tools and resources available to us at the tip of our fingers. This phone has the potential to go out to anybody who wants to watch it. 30 years ago, we were limited. So now, although we are unlimited to access to information, they can be as abused as it can be harnessed. And it just breaks my heart to see these people who are looking for meaning in their lives, looking for understanding. Many of them was looking to end loneliness. They just wanted to feel valued. And, they were taken advantage of by false prophets and corrupt organizations. They suffered. And some continue to suffer, both because they can't leave the group, but also because, I'm sorry, I'm sleepy and that's inappropriate, because they can't leave the group, others because they're healing from the trauma of what they go through. And it made me sad for them. And it's just tragic, the human world, and that's, can we think of a point I've made previously, but, try and be supportive to those around you and your family and your friends. Try and be that person that they can at least talk to if something goes wrong, because you don't know where people are or decisions they make. And previously I made the point that they may be in pain. By just being supportive, you may bring them great peace. But there's another aspect where by just being supportive of someone, you may help them avoid making a bad decision. By being that person, being that positive force in the world, you may be that person that stops them making that, may help them reconsider a toxic relationship or reconsider toxic behavior or reconsider toxic addiction. An example I use, there's a person I follow, an ex, who is an ex-Mormon, and I talk to him. He's a nice guy, but he's got a particular perspective of what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is, and it's not rooted in anything true, unfortunately. And I tried to talk to him and have discussions about it, and when we start getting to the core of the issue, he kind of gets very upset. Like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to press. I respect. I'm very much respecting individuals' agency. He doesn't talk about it, but he has an image of what the church is, based on what he perceives it to be, based on his personal experiences, based on his own. It's very much a self thing. And I can't dismiss his experience because he believes it to be true, and that's fair. But equally, I've never heard of half the things he's worried about. Half the things are conspiracy theories or stuff from Reddit or the secular world just filling him with stuff, and he's very concerned about stuff that he admits in some cases he's not experienced, and it's sad. It is sad because I respect him. He's a very intelligent man. He's got a lovely family, from what I understand, because he's told me to be clear. But like, he's a lovely man. Our conversations. But yeah, he has a perception of what the world is, and he wants to fight it, but he's just tilting at windmills. There's nothing to it, and it's tragic. But I just try and be supportive. I don't argue with him. I don't argue with opponents of the church. I used to. I was very much that guy who would just attack. But now I'm like, you know what? God will handle that. The Holy Spirit will handle that. I'm here just to do my best, be supportive, be a positive force in the world, to my wife, to my kids, as best I can. I falter, I fail. I'm not perfect, far from it. Very, very far from it. But if I can do one or two things in this world to make it a little bit better, it's a tiny speck better, I've done my part. And hopefully God can see that. And, we all fumble, we all fall, but that's okay. We get back up, we keep marching forward, we keep walking forward. We make the best decisions we can with the resources we have at that time. And resources could be, emotional, intellectual resources, it could be physical, it could be financial, whatever's appropriate to you. No, I'm not lending money, by the way. I haven't got any to lend. But yeah, going back to those videos and stuff, and my friend as well, they had a perception of the world that caused them, in the case of the victims, to isolate themselves, which made them more vulnerable for these false prophets to manipulate them. And on the other hand, this digital friend of mine, we'll call, who, based on purely his own Reddit-fueled binges, just shaped the world in a way that, he just wants to fight, an enemy doesn't exist. And it makes me grateful, to be honest with you. It makes me grateful. I'm grateful for my wife and my kids, and I'm also very grateful for the church. Give me these strong support networks that are people to talk to, and people to relate to, and people that, like a prophet on the earth, that can guide us and give us these truths. And I don't know, what can you do? You feel sorry for them, but there's not much. You can't step in and interfere in other people's lives. You can't tell them what to think, because you just reinforces the persecution complex that they're going through. So I guess the point of this message is, again, like a previous message, just be supportive to those around you. Do the best you can with what you have. If I can convince one person to watch this just to be supportive, and that changes one life, that chain link down the world, then it'd be worth posting this video for. When I was an evangelical, I used to watch this video by this American pastor, and he said, everybody wants to be the next super preacher. Nobody wants to be the guy that is help the person, 10, 11, 12, 15 things down. You yourself will never get recognized, but your impact will be felt 20 layers, 20 instances, 20 generations, whatever that may be, and that person will then convert millions. Everybody wants to be the person that converts millions. Nobody wants to be the guy that drives that person to the church that converts millions. Nobody wants to be the person that that lends him a suit and for him to go. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be the superstar. Nobody wants to be just the person, But we live in a world, especially now, 2025, we live in a world where secular world has made that pursuit of fame very much a high priority. And if you're not seeking it, then you're seen as less than, which is sad and not what Christ teaches. So I'm glad that I have the gospel to guide me when I make those decisions. I wish you well. I'm obviously going to go to sleep now because I'm stuttering and mumbling. God bless you all. Don't forget, it's Tuesday here in Australia, which means plenty of time to go to church. So if you made it this far, consider going to church. God bless you all. Have a good night.